Hey, good evening, everybody. How are y'all doing tonight? Well. Looks like the situation continues to deteriorate here, as we well suspected. So here we are again, with people refusing police commands and getting themselves killed. So again, I don't quite understand why people can't comply with police commands. I just, for the life of me, I don't understand it. There's been a lot more incidents other than the one in Philly yesterday or the day before. And I just don't understand how people can't learn that this is always a bad situation, and it's usually going to end in certainly injury, if not death, in most cases. When you come at a police officer or a law enforcement agent, officer, official, whatever the case may be, with a deadly weapon in your hand and you refuse to comply with commands multiple times, and you are still a continuing threat, expect to get shot. I don't quite know why that's so difficult to understand or comprehend, but, it's sad the guy lost his life, but it certainly was preventable. That's a fact. So, for those of you out there that appreciate and want to sustain the rule of law in this country and have standards and societal norms to live by, you better start backing the blue. Because we've said it before, it's time to pick a side. All right? So that's just my little intro here. I want to talk about just the deterioration of the conditions in the country daily. And to evaluate your personal conditions around you daily, if not hourly. I'm sure you all have heard about this Shutdown DC movement that's sort of trending. It actually was sort of let out of the bag by accident recently. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, research and Google Shutdown DC, and you'll see some things that have come out recently about that group and how sophisticated they are and how well funded they are and how organized they are. And these are the sophisticated, classy version of Antifa, from what I understand. So check that out and see what their plans are, and that should wake you up quite vividly, to be honest. But anyway, the conditions that we have currently are ripe for chaos and instability. And this is going to affect everything from the stock market to distribution of goods and services to the delivery of social services to first responder services, etc., etc., etc. The conditions are just ripe for chaos right now, and we're 6 days away from this election, and there's one weekend left here before we get to that point, and you throw Halloween in there, it's going to even be more of a crap show, most likely. So 6 days away, and most of us have been preaching for months now to top off your preps and fill your holes, get right. Hopefully people have been listening. For those that haven't, sorry, but you should have. And of course that runs down the food chain of all preps, being ammunition to meds to water to generator fuel, propane, etc., etc., etc. There's a lot of people out there that have been given good information for a long time. Hopefully most of you have been listening and have acted upon things that will help your situation. So be vigilant. I don't care if you're going to the mailbox in front of your house or to a kid's soccer game or to the store or to work or whatever the case may be. Be vigilant. All right, your head needs to be on a swivel all the time. You need to know what's going on around you. It's a perception thing. You have to know and expect to run into trouble. And it's constantly reevaluated. Every time you go to an intersection, look around, be smart, know who's beside you. Is somebody tailgating you? Why are they so close to you? Can you get up ahead and move out of their way? Is there at least one car length between you and the car in front of you? Can you make a move left or right? These are things that you need to be thinking about all the time. Because I think that enough people have discerned that the chances of this becoming a real crap show are pretty good. So be vigilant. Don't take chances unnecessarily, unless you don't have a choice. But hopefully, if you're prepared, mentally and physically and materialistically, you've got a good hold on things, and you're not going to need to go out and panic buy and get out there with the crazy crowds and get on the roads, during this chaotic time. And another thing is that we talk about it, I talk about it a lot, is keep that gas tank full, or certainly more than half full. You just never know. You never know, and if we have a real crisis on our hands, fuel's going to be hard to get, and gas stations may be shut down anyway. And be prepared to check on your family and your friends. There's a lot of older people out there and single folks. Have a plan to check on those people, whether it be by phone or email, Skype, personal visits. If they're close and they're around the corner, and you can just run over there and check on them. Or go get them and bring them to your house. If you're worried about it that much. If you've got somebody that's in an unstable area, or they don't have any help or protection, you might think about just going and getting them and bringing them to your house. If something were to go down, or if you've got a suspicion that something might break open, you might consider doing that. And also, as far as the electronics and commerce go, I would probably grab some cash. It doesn't hurt to have some cash on hand. There's all kinds of opinions out there about how much you should have and what denominations and this and that. I don't think it's unreasonable to keep, $1,000 in cash, at your home or on your person, in hidden areas perhaps. But, and that's, of course, can be broken down into small bills, 5s, 10s, 20s primarily. Some ones, of course, thrown in there, sprinkled in there. But, be prepared to pay for things and not get any change, So that's the reason for small bills, is that you can pay for things and not be overpaying, so to speak, because somebody doesn't have change. So grab some cash, and while you're at the store or at the bank or whatever, and you're out, make a round trip run with it, and go get the rest of your preps and your food items that you need from the grocery store or the hardware store. You're out, make the runs count. Don't make multiple trips to different places. Try not to fall into the same routine, mix up your routes, things like that. Everything that you do should be thought out. So those are kind of the things I want to talk about tonight. Just super vigilant. Explain to your kids what's getting ready to probably happen. And make sure they understand the truth. And go from there. But I saw something else today on the news. Of course, who knows if it's reliable or not, but that Europe is spiking and getting ready to lock back down again. And man, I don't know how that's going to go over. They were locked down quite a while, and it's going to be interesting to see how people react to that, or if they're going to fall for it or abide by it, or whatever the case may be. And it's going to be interesting to see how the people react over this new version of lockdowns that's coming, apparently, if you believe the news. And apparently they are spiking. And I do understand that we are spiking here in America too. So, it's not an easy thing to, just say you're against anymore. I mean, there's good thoughts on both sides. I think a lockdown is too detrimental for our society. I think that we need to be smart about how we go about our business, and that people that are super vulnerable need to stay, isolated, protected. But those that can get out and work safely probably should, as long as they can protect themselves and protect other people. I don't have a problem with that. But it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out in Europe. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on here, but it's really just more of the same, people. Know the conditions. We all know it's ripe for chaos and instability right now. It's already fallen apart in some places like Philly, and it's continued to fall apart in other places for the entire spring and summer and into the fall. So it's all really more of the same. Fill those preps, keep those gas tanks topped off. Don't leave anything to chance. Keep your head on the swivel. Get the things you can get. Trade for things that you don't have if you can't buy them. There's a lot of people out there willing to barter and make deals with you. So I'll be back. Check on y'all tomorrow. Stack it deep, along with the Republic.